Thanks for inviting me into your hideout under your bed. We just, this has been one of Iona's big projects the past couple of weeks, is rearranging things to make this good hideout. She's got all her books right here, and a big thing to sit on and read. You hanging out in here a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been nice to get a project done and get some things reorganized in your room, but it's also really weird to be not doing all the normal things. It's kind of hard to know how to feel sometimes, isn't it? People might be having a lot of big feelings right now. I've been hearing that from some people, from grown-ups and from kids, that sometimes things feel kind of normal, and then suddenly they'll start to feel really sad or weird or blah. Yes, that's very expressive. Yeah. So one of the things about feelings is that the feelings aren't good or bad. They just are. They're just what's going on inside of us.
It's okay to feel anything.
Yep. They just kind of are telling us about what's going on inside us. They're messengers. Jesus had big feelings sometimes too. Yeah. In our gospel story for this Sunday, I don't really have a lesson about it. It wasn't going to be a Sunday school Sunday, and it's kind of a serious story, but Jesus has some big feelings in that story. A friend of his has died, and his friend's sisters, who are also his friends, are coming to him and telling him about it, and they're weeping because they're so sad. And he starts to cry too. Jesus cries. And people look at him and say, look, he's weeping. He must have really loved that man. And the story in the Bible comes out okay because Jesus is able to help his friend. But those feelings were still real, weren't they?
Yeah.
There are other stories where Jesus has big feelings. There are times when he was angry. Can you remember any angry Jesus stories? There are some, trust me. Like that time when
ones with Pontius Pilate.
Oh yeah, sure. Or ones where he gets mad about the tables in the temple. There's some stories where he's scared. There's some Jesus stories where he is scared. There are some Jesus stories where he's happy. Can you think of any times when he seems happy? Not right now. There are some happy stories though, like when he's sharing meals with his friends, or when he's able to help people. I think that makes him happy.
I thought of an angry story.
What's an angry story you thought
when
of?
Peter betrayed him and told the guards about him.
I feel like maybe that's mostly a sad story.
That he was probably mad at Peter.
Maybe you're disappointed. Sad. Who knows? Sometimes feelings overlap too. Yeah. Sometimes you're sad and angry.
Sometimes you're angry and hungry.
That's true. That can happen
hangry.
Too. Also, I think Jesus is probably hangry now and then too. So feelings are normal. Everybody has big feelings, and having big feelings, big kind of intense, strong feelings, is normal at a time like this when so many things are different than the way we expected or the way we hoped, and when we don't feel like we know what's going to happen next.
Which we don't.
Yeah. So the question isn't how to get rid of our feelings, it's what to do with them. How do we handle them and turn them into something else that won't let them trap us or overwhelm us? There's a place in Paul's letter to the church in Philippi where he says, this is a very loose translation, but he says, don't just sit with your anxiety, don't just dwell with your anxiety, but pray to God about it. Tell God about your feelings. And when you tell God about your feelings, God's peace, which you can't even understand, can come into your heart and your mind. You might feel a peace from God that doesn't even make sense when you tell God about your feelings.
You can tell other people that you trust too. People in your family.
Yeah.
And they can probably help you figure something out
or at least listen and be with you with your feelings. Yeah. And that's a great one. That was one on my list for sure of what to do with our feelings. And I was going to say that if you're starting to feel like the people you see all the time, maybe you've talked to them enough about your feelings, I bet you have another circle of people. I bet you have family members and friends who you aren't in touch with yet. Grown-up friends from church, or big kid friends, or people that you maybe haven't talked to yet in the past couple of weeks, but who would love to talk with you and to hear about your feelings and to be with you in the ways we can be with each other right now.
Like calling each other.
Yeah. So I bet we all have people we can talk with.
And if you're a kid, ask your parents.
Yeah, for help connecting with people that you want to connect with. We can take a walk or even just go out in a yard and look for signs of spring. A lot of people find that spending time with nature and noticing nature helps them.
Out front in our yard, our first crocuses.
Yeah, we've got some crocuses really going. It's pretty great to see. And there are lots of birds around. That's exciting too. We can make art. Art can be a really good way to let out our big feelings and do something with them, can it?
You can draw something like something that you feel.
Yeah, you could draw a picture of something you feel.
Or abstract art.
I made these earrings a few days ago, and I tried to make them look like robin eggs because I was thinking about spring and about how spring is coming. Even though everything is weird, spring is still coming.
Would be hard to get the black dots.
Sometimes getting quiet can help us with our big feelings. Yeah. I'm going to send out a video by my friend Sylvia about a way to get quiet, because she's really good at getting quiet and teaching other people to get quiet. But that can be a good way to handle our big feelings.
If you have siblings, you could play the quiet game.
You could, although I'm not sure that's quite the same kind of quiet. Competitive quiet is different.
But it's fun.
You can do something you enjoy, like reading a good book or having a play bath with lots of bubbles or baking cookies with help. That's right. That can be a really good way to kind of put your big feelings at rest. Do things that you enjoy. You can listen to music or make music. Music is a really powerful way to handle big feelings for a lot of people, kids and grown-ups. Sometimes you want to listen to music or make music that feels the same way you do so that you can really be in it and not feel alone. And
earlier today, actually, I was looking for music to listen to while reading that wasn't too distracting, and I found some meditation music that has, like, nature sounds.
Oh, and did that help you feel kind of calm while you were reading? Yeah. That sounds really nice. And sometimes we if we're feeling upset inside, we might want something like that kind of makes us feel peaceful.
We might
want music that helps invite us into a different place. So I want to remind our viewers, our friends, of a song we sing at church sometimes that you might remember. It's not exactly a God song because it doesn't say God in it, but it is, because God is in the hope of a better somewhere. And God helps us have the strength to keep on till we find it. So you join in when you remember it, okay? There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. We miss you, friends. God bless you and be the guardian of your body, mind, and spirit. We'll talk to you again soon, okay? Bye-bye.
Bye.